"They're beaming their lie directly into your brain," the man screamed. His eyes pleaded with me to believe him. He was disheveled looking, sweating, and shirtless. This was odd since it was fairly chilly out, and it didn't look like the normal way he would dress. He had suit pants on and fancy dress shoes. He scratched at his chest waiting for me to reply to him. I looked around. A crowd had gathered. I frowned, and then looked at the man again. "Please, you gotta listen. They're getting away with it. Beaming lies into your head, and you don't even know it." I nodded slowly, unsure as to what to do. Most of the crowd had simply continued on their way. It wasn't uncommon to come across somebody going off their rocker here in the big city. 3 men in white suits appeared from a van that just parked. The man backed away. "No, you won't take me back there," he shouted, but they overpowered him and put him in the back of the van. Odd. It wasn't a medical van. It had on the side a red circle with the letters RP in it. As I drove away, I looked to where the man had been standing. There was a business card on the ground. I picked it up. Hal Wilkinson, PhD. I looked back at the van as it vanished around the corner. What could make an intelligent man go crazy like that? Curiosity got the better of me, so I went online and looked up the markings on that van. Rollins Production. It was a big media company. They did most of their work behind the scenes. They had 100 or so addresses all around the country. I found one local to me, and soon I was there outside the business. So I figured this is a good place to start, though it seemed quiet, especially considering how big of a company this was. I made my way around the side and found a door. Locked. I moved on to the next one, also locked. Then I heard a couple of voices. I hid behind a shed and 2 men came around the corner. They were on a smoke break. One of them took a last puff and he scanned them in using a card that was on a chain around his neck. After they entered, I noticed the door wasn't fully closed yet. It was one of those that closed slowly, automatically, so it won't slam. I grabbed the handle just in time and made my way in. The hall was quiet. Again, this just seemed out of place for a place that worked with every media company on the planet. About 3 doors down, I saw him. The man from the street. He was on a table. They had a device in front of his face. It looked to be beaming a light into his forehead. "What are you doing?" a voice behind me yelled. I turned. It was one of the men in white. He pulled what looked to be a gun on me and fired, but it emitted light instead of a bullet. I was already on the move, so it only grazed me, but I felt odd, hot, and itchy. But I had to warn someone. I ran out the door and across the street. It was so freaking hot, I was tearing my shirt off as I ran. There was a crowd, people waiting for the bus stop. "You have to stop them. They're after me. They're beaming stuff straight into your head." "Lies," I screamed. The crowd parted as 3 men in white came up to me. "All right, pal," one of them said. "Let's go get this straightened out." "No," I screamed as they pulled me into the van. "You can't let them get away with it." But the crowd had already gone back to their own business. Too much to do to pay attention to every nut job on the street.